Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Right.
Okay.
It's very good. It's got doing like it's
Insanely
going
well.
viral.
Like twice now.
And not well. He every time he comes out, he always fucking breaks the internet.
This is Smugglaz, by the way.
And not that it doesn't say it on the title.
But just saying.
And this is his song, Samin or Samin.
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 I say that's funny because in Venezuelan, because there's not
Chamin.
even there's not even Spanish. It's a Venezuelan slang word. We call like young people, chamos.
Sure.
And then and like a cute way of like saying, or cooler way of saying like small children is like chamin. Okay. So it sounds kind of like similar.
But you're right.
I don't know what this means though.
Now,
for that reason.
Because I am part of a sort of YouTube's beta thing where I can translate comments.
I can do that too.
Oh, can you? Is it available now for everyone?
I think so.
Because I've had it for a month now.
I can do it now.
That's pretty class. Anyway, so someone's provided a translation. So not a translation, the lyrics.
But you can translate them now.
But I can translate them with the press of a button if I can find the bloody comment. So happy days, because it is rap, and I always try to look for translation, especially if it's rap and it's written by this rapper. Yeah, so let's give it a watch. We heard Hakuna Matata from him before, didn't we?
That was freaking vibey as hell. I loved it.
That's one of Martin's son, isn't it? Martin Nievera's son.
Smugglaz.
It's
not.
Oh, the hell no, obviously not.
I thought that's what you were referring
the person who says who played the drums in that. I read that somewhere, or maybe it's just he's the owner.
I think
it's a successful ass family. Maybe. Martin Nievera, anyways, go on.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes, old school. Alright. Mula nung una hanggang dulo sa kalagitnaan ng gera at digmaan na to'y magkabilang ko na palagitangan sa kaliwa sa kanan mga pinangawakan ko na di mabitawan nagpatuloy.
Such a fan.
Alright.
Disculpa, that means excuse me, Spanish.
What the freaking okay, the singing, it's so freaking melodic, but it's so vibey at the same time. It's very rare to hear voices that can provide that rhythmicality and melody at the same time without having to be processed in the studio, because usually you can
heavily processed.
Yeah. You can achieve this flow singing wise, like it's very rhythmical, but it's highly melodic. When it's processed, like you can use like auto-tune and stuff to like elongate certain notes. You can vocal chop it, but to hear it raw like that is freaking impressive. I had never been exposed to anything like that before, like in a raw environment like this. That is freaking cool.
Well, I lately saw this performance on the Wish Bus. It was Wish Bus US, and it was horrible. It wasn't a great performance.
Oh.
But it just puts into perspective. I'm not gonna say it was, but it just puts into perspective. Like, holy shit, it could go so wrong.
And then this guy
motherfucker does this like this, and you're like, what the? I'm gonna show you the performance I'm talking about later. Oh, oof. But it puts it into perspective. I've also seen a couple of shit ones. Yeah. They're like, it's up to the artist. There's only so much Wish can do for you.
Well, they really don't
give them a quality mic.
Yeah.
And then maybe, which take did you like the most?
Yeah.
Which take did you like the most? Because they can do several takes.
Absolutely.
It has to be a whole take, but anyways, it just puts into. I really want to emphasize that, mate. Like, it's unbelievable.
It is.
What he's able to do, and some of the people, well, most of the people that we've checked out are able to do because they're that level.
I agree.
But it
is so impressive.
But not everyone is on that level.
No.
Not even remotely.
No, but Smugglaz isn't like in a completely different lane. Like
elite,
he's elite.
From what you guys have told me, he's sort of very, very, very well respected in the whole community.
Hell yeah! I mean,
so I do have the lyrics. So maybe let's do verse by verse. Let's see what happens.
Sa pagsulat, paglikha, paggawa niya ng melody at ritmo ng rima, mga bara, sumikat, makilala, tinig, maisang plaka, kahit na para pang hindi ganong patika ng pag-asa sa tulad, kung natulad din ng ilang higahos, lumaking wasak ng pamilya, di pa nakapagtapos, sulang sa kaalaman, sa salapili negapos, anumang meron at walay akin ang pinagpasa Diyos, sa
emphasizing the ngas. So many that like that usage of the diction. Like I always emphasize it because it's important to understand that you can take advantage of diction in ways that you've never been exposed to before, in ways that you never really had thought of it before. And in this particular case, you can really hear how he's emphasizing the rapping dynamic without losing melody, because he's emphasizing the nga sound, the ng sound.
Yeah.
So the soft palate's coming down and touching the top of his tongue, and it's creating this really cool like twangy but not irritating like bounce. Yeah, it's so freaking nice.
Yeah, this is what happens when a rapper
sings.
But also holds himself to some vocal discipline.
I mean, what is freaking fantastic.
Pagbigyan man o hindi ang mga dalangin kong asam. Dumiretso lumiko, mapraning o tumino, magtagumpay o mabigo, langit lang ang may alam. Kahit marami mang buti sa aking talampakan, alam kong babakas panin ang mga yapak ko sa akin. Bawat daraanan, malubak kong
he sounds exactly like the record.
Hindi mapapahumpay ang gutom na tagayan ng mapasa kamay. Abay uwi ko sa amin ang tagumpay, sa amin ang tagumpay.
It reminds me so much back home.
It's very old school, isn't it?
Lo tiro, lo mato. Anyway, so the first... Dude, I love that song. What the fuck?
It holds that really early 2000s old school Latino rap.
Yeah, you know what?
But people weren't that good at singing though.
Oh no,
they used to sound trash, but you still vibe.
I root for my sort of, the industry where we came from, but it's just a different league.
It is.
It's a different league, and I really hope like these guys know.
This is how it's done.
Like, it's they're so dangerous. I feel because. I told you, if they really do manage to get a grasp of the worldwide rapping scene, it's
game over.
It's gonna be so rough for everyone else because you're gonna have to then be able to understand vocalizations, harmonies, singing, and it's like
they're gonna have to step up the game.
You can't just be a rapper anymore.
That's right.
And look at the industry, just in general, like even rappers that can hold a tune do really, really well.
Yeah.
Look at the Drakes. Rex isn't the greatest rapper alive. But because he can sing.
Because he's so melodic, yeah.
He can't sing. He's melodic, right?
Yeah,
he's melodic. And he can hold a tune every now and then. Not very well live, but in his albums, he's all right. Tory Lanez, kind of the same thing. He sort of mastered his art of utilising autotune live and also utilising harmonies live and having a great line of backup singers.
Having Travis Scott is a prime example of that. He creates so much great atmosphere with vocalizations and obviously
through his records, not live.
Well, I know, but it's
not to throw shade at him, I'm just saying.
No, but I'm talking about how it's so commonly sought after. The idea of having, huge vocalizations throughout the rap line. I mean, Eminem was a huge
even when he harmonized. That's one of the things about people don't really really good rappers do understand vocal discipline and vocal intricacies.
That's right.
Like there's a level to that shit, and I'm a bit pissed today. Basically, that's what I'm gonna rant for a bit because I've been noticing this sort of, I watch other channels and stuff. And there's sort of comments and commentaries, not comments like below, but like the commentary of the scene, and it's like everyone's good. It's like no, they're fucking not. Yeah. You know what I mean? That takes a specific level of skill.
That's right.
And if you say that everyone's all right and everyone's good and everyone's sort of like the standard of singing, especially for rappers, is really low.
Oh yeah.
So if it's acceptable, that's good. But it's like, no, it isn't.
No.
That's good. So if that's good, for you to be better, you have a fucking load of work to do.
That's right. And if you haven't been exposed to singing like the blessed people in the Philippines have, like these rappers grew up hearing music that was vocally very intricate, and they emulated
from a really young age.
That's right. They emulated from a really young age, and they decided to go a different route with the rap, which is not the common the common path for a vocalist. So what happens is that they're taking all of the influences that they grew up with and putting it into hip hop and creating this brand new, really high level standard of hip hop and melodics through rapping, right? what happens with the rest of the world that hasn't been exposed or haven't emulated high quality singing standards of singing?
I don't even think it's
they have a lot of work to come up to.
Sure,
you know?
I think also market, as I always say, the market sets the damn demand.
Absolutely.
Not what you tried, not what you copied when you were a kid.
Yeah.
So and that says something. No, and that says something about just the Filipino music industry.
I'm talking about the creative process.
Sure. But I'm just saying the Filipino music industry also has different demands because people demand that the live performance there is better than the studio version, or that's the most consumed version. Absolutely. So what happens to a rapper that is ass live? You're out of the picture, basically, and that industry is ruthless.
It is.
You know, and that I think I'm so blessed to have been able to learn about that industry, you know, now, because it also rises my expectations of myself and from what I wish to do, and also increases your what would you call it? Not judgment, but there's
perspectives and critical thinking.
Exactly, it has woken up that specifically on rap. Hence why we enjoy checking out rap from the Philippines so much.
And I have to emphasize, I'm not a huge hip hop rap fan at all. I don't enjoy it. So when I see things that really spark this brand new feeling of wonder and excitement through great, you know, vocalizations and dynamics, vocal usage of dictions and stuff, you know, there's depth, there's intricacy. God, it's a gold mine.
Discipline. It's not just random disaster. Go on.
It's fantastic. And then there's also performing, you know? It's the diction for me.
Not easy to do.
Turn up. That's freaking nuts.
Good breath control.
Oh, it's freaking brilliant. It's brilliant.
Still some modulation going on, and you know.
And actually, you can see, not to get too technical, but
tongue work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Plenty of tongue work there. Yeah.
It's very interesting because the tongue positioning of it is very out there. It's not textbook, right? But it's there because you are using so much of the soft palate, so you're kind of like creating this concave, like the opposite to what we've been taught to do. So you create this like a cup to the tongue, so the back of the tongue reaches the soft palate really easily, and the soft palate comes down, so there's constant contact.
You might not be doing this on purpose. You may just kind of figured it out as we went.
I think it's because of the constant eng sound, so it becomes really comfortable to curl the tip of the tongue to just create a you know, the easiness of using the soft palate to the top of the tongue.
Well, it adapts to create the end product of sound, right?
Absolutely.
Sort of like, you know, it's got, when I speak, my tongue moves a specific way.
That's right.
But perhaps here, because of the due persistence and consistency of that sound, it could, you know, it could have been also coached. I'm not too sure.
I don't think so. I think it's a natural.
I would lean towards that too.
It's also because there's a lot of tension because of how fast the words come through and how many vocalizations happen through a phrase. Even though there are very monotone notes, there is a lot of constant change. So I think the tip of the tongue curling up is also a product of tension. Right. But it's really aiding, you know, the diction itself.
Aids the up,
yeah, absolutely. So good. Dude, he's living his best life, dude.
doesn't come off.
Freaking fantastic.
Oh, hello.
This is so old school. I love it. It's really hard to believe it's happening live.
Holy shit.
God. My God, how is he so fast?
What the fuck?
Smugglaz to the S to the N to the U to the double G to the A to the Z.
Sure.
What the fuck, bro?
I mean, sure, man.
Holy shit, you know what he's saying? At the beginning he's saying, this is a translation. By the way, you know, this is also another thing, right, which is very bizarre about the Filipino music rapping industry in the music industry. It's that obviously we don't understand what's going on at the start. We have to look for translations.
That's right.
But I still feel there's so much value because it's so, the quality is so high of performance and both audio quality and the audio experience. Hence why I believe it brings enough, I feel, anyways, do let us know if you disagree. But I feel it brings enough value to review in itself and then look at the translation. But I feel if it's able to captivate sort of our minds, you know, someone who's not fluent in Tagalog, maybe know a couple of words because they're similar to Spanish, or
Yes, continue, please.
or mo dito idol ganda. I don't even know what that means.
Ganda means good.
Grande.
Like, well done.
Grande, dog.
Grande.
Anyways.
No, it's angaling. Angaling means superb, like great.
Superb.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, like, if it's able to captivate someone like us who's not fluent on the language, I think then it has the opportunity to then take over the worldwide scene. Look, we see music from all over the world at the moment that is resonating really well with a wide, you know, with that demographic that may have not been the officially intended
the originally intended
exactly because due to the language, but it seems no longer languages are a barrier, which is I think it's an awesome place to be in music. But he says the song is called Hours. That's what Samin means.
Samin.
It says from the beginning to the end and in the middle of war and war on both sides, I've always handed left and right. Those I hold on to cannot be released. He continued to write, creating and making of melody and rhythm, of rhyme and barriers. Shine recognized voices can be plaque, maybe mistranslated. Even if the hope doesn't seem so bright, in like I also like some deficiency. The family grew up ruined before graduating. Lack of knowledge, lack of money, and money is also lacking. Whatever I have and what I have is passed on to God. Behind my sins, grant my prayers or not. Go straight, turn around, be smart or straight. Succeed or fail, only heavens knows. Even a lot of mud from my feet, I know that my footsteps will still follow in every path. Whether it's rough or slippery, I'm ready to stay. Until the end, it will be unstoppable. Oh, fuck. Oh, you melon. Oof. Oh, no. Oh, no, I can no longer translate it. Ah, you stupid beta. Thing. I think that's what it's called, beta or beta. I don't know if you call it. Ah, I lost it, you prick. No, I can't press it anymore. It still looks like that, but I can't. It doesn't no longer gives me the chance to translate it.
Oh, well, there's that.
Oh, well, maybe also for other people maybe watching, if you do maybe find like the lyrics, do drop it in the comments section. Obviously, just a rough translation. That I'll be awesome for other people to watch because it seems other people from all over the world watch, and that's obviously awesome for Future Friday and mind blowing concept. But yeah, let us know what you thoughts about it, and I'm truly a fan.
Me too. Me too.
And I want to see. Yeah, I want to listen to the song again. It'd be awesome to do like.
That last section was absolutely freaking brain melting.
Anyways, let us know what you thought about it, and goodbye.